It's such an honor, privilege to have you all here today. Before I get started, though, of course, I want to make sure I shout out some very important individuals in the crowd. Of course, we have our Commissioner Kevin Barnhart. Thank you very much for being here. We have from Senator Judy Schwenk's office, Tom, right? Bill. Tom, Bill. Excuse me, from Senator Judy Schwenk's office, Bill. Thank you so much, and he's her Chief of Staff. Thank you so much for being here. We both know that the Commissioner and Senator Schwenk are strong advocates for our agenda here in Harrisburg, and we thank them so much for their attendance. We're here today to discuss a very innovative proposal that our Honorable Governor Tom Wolf has proposed. And Pennsylvania, we're sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime pool of money that we've been able to receive from the federal government due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we understand, and especially here in the Salvation Army, and Governor Wolf, why I wanted to come to the Salvation Army, because the Salvation Army has been a hub here in the city of Reading. I used to come to the Salvation Army, Governor, to get my packs of food when my grandmother used to stand in line, and when I lived 2 blocks down the road and we needed food for Thanksgiving, the Salvation Army was there for us. When we needed toys for Christmas, the Salvation Army was there for us. And so the Salvation Army continues to be a hub here in the south side of Reading, and no more, way more important an area than your initiative can have such an impact on, because what the governor is proposing is $2,000 to every Pennsylvanian. And think about it, here in the city of Reading, with the problems that we have, and obviously this press conference is not to talk about that, but the gun violence issues that we've been facing currently as a city of Reading, we understand that that $2,000 can go towards tackling some of the root causes, some of the deeper root causes that we believe causes some of the unnatural gun violence deaths that we've been seeing over the last couple of days. You know, Governor, over the latest one, I actually heard the gunshots from my apartment, Governor. It was that close. And we're facing a huge problem here in the city of Reading, and your investment, your proposal, your initiative, Governor Wolf, will be key in helping us not only transform the city of Reading, but transform individual lives. And that is the purpose of government, ladies and gentlemen. That is why what the governor is proposing is so important, because what he's proposing is actually to take some of the billions of dollars that's sitting in a rainy day fund. Meanwhile, it's been raining every day in the city of Reading for decades, and taking some of that money and putting it in the pockets of those Pennsylvanians who need it the most. And today, you're going to hear from 2 of them. You're going to hear from 2 of my constituents, Governor, and they're going to let you know how far $2,000 can go in their personal lives, what they can do to help either put a down payment on their house, or to help further their education, or to help put food on their table, or God forbid, put some money in their own rainy day fund, Governor. So we understand that we have a long uphill battle to get this passed. We understand that in Harrisburg, it's a very politicized, I'm sure the governor will be the first to tell you, it's a very politicized place. But one thing I do remain is I remain ever hopeful. I remain hopeful that the individuals that are up here, Salvation Army, the elected officials that are in the crowd, we will continue to hold our elected officials accountable. We will continue to call our elected officials and our colleagues on the other side of the aisle and ask them, plead with them, beg them if we need to, because the people of the city of Reading desperately need this measure to pass, Governor Wolf, and I can tell you that this $2,000 that will go into the pockets of the people of the city of Reading will go a long way towards curbing a lot of the gun violence that we're seeing, and go a long way towards bridging the economic divide that's happening within our communities and communities all across the Commonwealth. But of course, y'all didn't come here to hear me talk today. I appreciate y'all coming here. But of course, the main star of the show, and it's such an honor to introduce him, and I'm so thankful that the governor continues to come back to the city of Reading, that the governor, with his investment, not just with what he's proposing here today, but his continued investment in the city of Reading has paid off. And I just want to say thank you, Governor, for your investment in the city of Reading, and the Latino community. Thanks you for everything that you've done for the Latino community over the last 8 years. So, without much further ado, our Honorable Tom Wolf.
Actually, I did come to hear Representative Guzman. I think you speak very well. So, have a round of applause. so thank you. And Bill, it's good to see you, and as always, Commissioner, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let me just say, I have even better news than what Rep. Guzman was saying. What I'm talking about here isn't even in the rainy day fund. I mean, I don't even want to touch the rainy day fund. This is an additional $2 billion we have sitting there that's from the federal government that we can use. We don't even have to use the rainy day fund. We don't have to depend on, by the way, as of today, as of yesterday, we have over $4 billion revenue surplus. For the month of April will be $1.8 billion revenue surplus. I don't want to touch that. In addition to that, we have $2.2 billion sitting in our cash account that is ready to be used. If we don't use it, it goes back to Washington in 2024. So what I'd like to do is recognize, as Representative Guzman said, that right now Pennsylvanians are going through a tough time, not just here in Reading, but all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You can see the pain in the faces of people all across Pennsylvania, right here in Reading, everywhere. And I think we're all here to talk about solutions. You don't want to hear about what the problems are. We know what the problems are. So I've done a lot to get Pennsylvania into a good place. As I said, we have money right now in ways that we never had it before. Revenues are way up, and we're going to have a $4.3 billion surplus by the end of the year just in revenues. I think we're hitting $8 billion surplus overall when you take into account the expenditures. That's just this year. We had a $2.6 billion surplus last year. So we have the fiscal strength to do things that we could never do before. And in addition to all that, we have $2.2 billion of ARPA money. So this is something that's really important, something that right now could really go to help Pennsylvanians. This is not some grand theoretical thing. This is something that says, could we take some of this money and actually give it to Pennsylvanians? $2,000. If you're a household of making $80,000 or less, you qualify for this. And it's $2,000 for what? Anything you want. You have gasoline prices are high, inflation's up, food prices are up, you need it for whatever, rent, it's $2,000. And it's up to you to spend it however you want. No one can say that. This is really important. This is an important, absolutely important program. And it's something that actually we need right now. I think all of us, this is our proposal, to take this money and use some of this for that, some of that $2.2 billion. I think we are all open to hear what the other side might want to do with that. But I think we needed to be in the pockets of Pennsylvanians, and we needed to be in those pockets right now. Not next week, not down the road 6 months, right now, because right now is when those things are hitting, and right now is where when the pain is being felt, and we can do this right now. We have the wherewithal. It's sitting there. So I know there's a primary coming up here in a couple weeks, and maybe we have to wait for that, but we need this now. And I would urge all of you to urge your legislators, Republicans, the Democrats. On the Democratic side, we're ready to go.
Yes, we are.
I want to put it, we all want to put it in the pockets of the people who need it right now. Let's get everybody in Harrisburg on the same page and say, this is money we have, it's sitting there, it goes away if we don't use it, people need it right now. $2,000, that's what I want. Now, I am very happy to turn this over to Myra Del Toro, who is going to give a little bit about maybe how she could use this money.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Myra Del Toro. I'm going to talk a little about my story. I am the mom of 6 kids. I come from Puerto Rico because I was domestic violence victim. I want to break the cycle. I want to change the life of my 6 kids. I come in here with nothing, no friends, no family, nothing, only my kids, no English. When I come in here, I just put my goals. Some years ago, I need to start working, doing something in my life, and I buy a house, a cheap house that today is the home of my kids. That with construction, piece by piece with the hands of my kids. but we do it. Today, I'm a student in Reading Area Community College, and I stay participating in KISS program. I just deserve associated social work, but I going for more. I going for custom for the major in social work. In the meantime, I do study work in the Hispanic Center, impacting daily more than 300 persons, Hispanic or everybody that needs the help, information, refer, or any help that they need, with application, with everything. Now, I'm going to talk in what benefit the 2000 for me? In many things. First, I can pay the taxes for my own house that I buy, that I construction for my kids, for my family. Second, I can fix my car. And third, I can fix some things that I need in my house, that I do it piece by piece until I can. But with that $2,000 helped me for going more far, for using for something that my family needs, for improve the life. And now, I just say to you, I can use the money for the best of my family. And I can say to you, I'm never going to stop in my goals, in the life, for my family and me. Now I pass the word to Narayana Linares.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.
My name is Ryan Linares. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania here. And it's funny, I have family all over the country, so when I got a little older, I'd move around a lot. I mean, nice places, Florida, California, and I always come back to Pennsylvania.
Nice places, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. And that's why I keep coming back. And people question me for that, but hey. And like I said, I was born and raised here. I live in this area now. I grew up in Bucks County. And pre-pandemic, if we date back some years ago, I actually am a recovering drug and alcohol. I used to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. Sorry. For many years, and it held me back from getting through life. And one day I decided to make that change. I was hurting myself and my family, and I went to rehab. And when I got out, that was 5 years ago now. I've been sober ever since. So it started with just construction work, and I was just a laborer, and I made my way and I built my way up, and next thing you know, I got a little apartment. I started my own little LLC to do side work and so on and so forth. And then I had 2 kids, and then COVID hit, and it was rough. It was really rough. For a while, we weren't allowed to work, and then even when we could go back to work, it was difficult to get business, and you can understand why. People didn't want to get sick. There was a lot of people dying, and it was difficult for business. And I got to a point where I had a chance to reconsider my life. Sitting at home every day, all day. You know what I mean? You get a lot to think about, and I really thought, this is a time for me to maybe give back. Often like we do in AA, but on a professional level. And that's why now I'm going to school to be a psychologist. I'm going for my master's degree to be a clinician. And I'm starting off at RAC. I love RAC. It's a really You know, it's a really great school. The KEYS program has really been helping me out. And but you know, I have to say, the past 4 months or so have been exceptionally rough once again. I mean, like the governor mentioned with gas prices. When gas prices go up, everything goes up. Obviously, because everybody in business has to use gas, so they have to make up for that cost. You know, and including myself. So when I make a contract, I have to work my transportation in the contract. And the materials, where I'm getting them from, you know, the people I'm getting the materials from, they have to raise their prices because of the transportation they pay for. And who's delivering it. Same with food, everything. So it's tough. And for me, you know, let's say that our legislation in Pennsylvania decides to go forward with this. I would use it for daycare probably, because it's tough when, you know, I'm in school, like I said, and I'm trying to work. And I hadn't mentioned this, but a couple weeks ago, my mother got into a car wreck, and it totaled her car. And, you know, I've been driving her around, so either I'm gonna pay her to babysit, or we're gonna get her a new car. So that's what we're looking at now, and it would help a lot. And I just want to say that whether we're Republican or Democrat, like, you know, we were promised a $2,000 stimulus that didn't go through, and the economy isn't doing great. And you know, Pennsylvania can't do anything about anybody else, but here in Pennsylvania, we as Pennsylvanians can take care of each other, and you know, that's what we elect, you know, Governor Wolf for, and legislators. And you know, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. You know, we're Pennsylvanians, and we can take care of each other. The money's there, so I don't see any reason why not. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor and elected officials, to be here with us today. More than 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, life is returning to a new normal for many. But however, countless neighbors and families here in Pennsylvania continue to struggle as a result of the pandemic and are looking for assistance for basic necessities like food and shelter. These needs continue to grow and are now exacerbated by the economic stress of inflation, and we see this here every day. The Salvation Army works year-round to ensure that we serve the needs of low-income individuals and families by providing emergency shelter and housing assistance, providing food pantries, rehabilitation programs, veteran services, child care services, educational and recreational programs for the youth, support for victims of human trafficking, holiday assistance, and much more. And as soldiers for Christ, serving those in need through our communities across the state, we at the Salvation Army understand the direct impact of these $2,000 stimulus payments from Governor Wolf's Opportunity Program proposal, and which impact will have these families and individuals. These vulnerable communities desire to know that someone is out there who cares and is listening, and is helping them lift them up. And this program is an example that yes, someone is listening. So thank you. Governor Wolf's proposal provides much needed aid for households under financial and economic stress by covering pandemic-related costs and managing the current and everyday living costs. We want to express our appreciation to Governor Wolf and the Commonwealth for supporting these underserved communities and for collaborating with the Salvation Army to ensure that families in need can keep their lights up at home, can keep food at their tables, and can keep hope alive. Thank you very much.
Any of us would be happy to take questions on topic. I'll do a gaggle outside behind this if anybody has questions off topic. But if anybody has questions for any of these folks here, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm saying you'd be happy to take those questions, right? So, Thank you very much, and let's get this done. Let's work together and get this done. Thank you.